Hi, it's Calder here from Singing Matters once again, and I wanted to talk to you today about the rising larynx. When the note rises in a song or even in a scale or exercise, does your larynx rise up with it? Are you, without realizing it, thinking that a higher note means a higher larynx or everything needs to pull upwards? We're going, ugh! We're pulling upwards like that to get the note to go higher. Or without thinking about it, it's completely out of your control. Is that happening? I want you to ask yourself this question, even if you've looked at this before, even if this is something that you're just really familiar with the idea of, you completely get it. You've done exercises around it before, you know that it's a problem, but is it still happening? Is it still happening? I want you to ask yourself, okay? So we're going to delve into this a little bit today. I'm going to give you some exercises to try. Yeah, it's all the boring work. Yeah, it's the weird stuff, but it's what's necessary if you really want to fix this, because it's amazing how much it sneaks back on you and sneaks back up on you when you're not looking. Okay, so if you've tried to improve your voice and you don't know why it doesn't feel right, this could be one of the things that is happening, and it probably is. And again, as I say, for some people who are aware of this, it doesn't mean they've reliably and consistently been able to fix it. And I've got students who are still showing this, even though we've delved into it and tried to fix it in the past. It's crept back in as a habit. Often that comes along when you try and sing something more powerfully, the problem just comes back again. But this part of our anatomy, it's so instinctive. They say that we swallow 600 times a day or something. Now, it's no wonder that this can engage when we don't want it to, without consciously being aware of it. It makes it clear how this mechanism is so instinctive. So you must pay attention to what happens as you rise higher in pitch. You need to kind of work out at what point in your range it starts to happen. Let's have a think about this. So you may have come across these exercises before, but let's readdress it. If you've looked at how to lower your larynx before, you might have been taught to do a dopey, yawn type sound. Like actually yawn. If you actually just pretend to yawn, like everything dilates. I'm yawning because I'm proper tired, as always. Your larynx go down, but you get a little raised soft palate as well. Everything goes like that. You can do a sort of dopey, stupid sound and your larynx will go down in the throat like that. Okay? If you're able to control that at will and make it go down in your throat, great. But obviously we don't really want to sing like that. That would be too low. That would be a little bit extreme and it wouldn't sound contemporary for sure. But if we can lower the larynx, we can stop them rising. Okay, it's about stopping it from rising too much. That's really what we're trying to achieve when we think about lowering the larynx. You might want to dampen them lower just a tiny bit lower. But the word that people use often is neutral. We're looking for a neutral larynx. It doesn't want to go too low and it doesn't want to go too high, but it needs to feel free. It needs to not feel restricted and tight. It needs to feel free and loose and relaxed. That is what you're aiming for. Free and relaxed whilst you just consciously just keep it down a little bit. Stop it from rising. Trying to sing like that causes its own problems. It sounds terrible. When you get so high, it will just kind of cut out because you're not helping the chords stay together when you've dropped your larynx that low. So if you're having a problem there, you can think about it. Am I doing that too much and causing another problem? So we're obviously looking for a neutral larynx. It needs to feel free. It needs to have a little bit of stylistic freedom where there is some sort of play in the rising and falling for stylistic choices. But when you don't have control of these things, forget about stylistic choice. You just need to get control of it, okay? So do the playing around with the mechanism, as I said. Just do a yawn sound. You feel so cheesy. When people are doing this stuff, they feel like an idiot. Oh, God, he's making me... I have to stand there making these noises. Do you want to control your voice or not? Does it feel tight when you sing? Does it feel restricted, constricted? If the answer is yes, or you're not sure that something might not be right, please just do the exercises and mess around with this stuff, okay? Yeah, I'm sitting here on a video going, making stupid noises. As coaches, we are used to this stuff. As singers, you really should be as well. Just address it. Do a dopey sound. Think about yawning. Do a silent. I'm about to yawn. Sort of do the inhale of a yawn and feel the movement. You don't have to make a noise, but it kind of helps when you do. It helps get the effect, and you sort of know what's happening. Right, now I want you to swallow with your hands around your larynx. I want you to really feel around your voice box, that little lump in your throat, the Adam's apple. Mine, unfortunately, is not the most prominent. Some guys, it's so easy to see. Feel around here, just sort of grip around the cartilage that you can feel. And then as you yawn, you'll feel it go down in your throat. If you swallow, you'll feel a lot of moving around. It kind of goes up and comes back down again. Just above the larynx there, to the side, you'll feel the engagement of muscles happening. They are your swallowing muscles, the constrictor muscles. When those muscles are engaged, we get sounds. Ooh, that's a little bit low. Ooh, ooh, you can hear the difference, neutral, high, low. Okay, whenever you get that squeezed sound, you're probably doing something with the constrictor muscles, the swallowing muscles. Everything's pulling up, everything's getting tight, and it's not helping you sing with an open throat. We are looking for an open throat. So feel the swallow. Feel what that feels like. Now I want you to try this, which is not very comfortable. I want you to lean your head back. Tilt your head back. Tilt your head back. Swallow. It almost wants you to pull your head forward because it's not very comfortable. It's not a nice thing to do. But try it. It's uncomfortable, but you can feel how uncomfortable that is in your throat when you tilt your head back and try to swallow. Now I want you to sing and see if you get some sensations that are similar to the swallowing. If you get somewhere maybe in the middle or a little bit higher than, I went a bit higher there, might start to cause a problem around that pitch. If you get that sensation and that sound and that tone when you're trying to sing a note in that middle range, you're onto something, okay? So tilt your head back. Make sure it's tilted. You can feel it. If you watch yourself, if you film yourself trying this, you'll see it happening. Try and rise up in pitch. We could do a scale. I could feel little micro movements happening inside there, but the larynx is staying nice and stable where it should. So this will really challenge you. If you can feel the swallowing muscles engaging when you try and do a 5-note scale like that, then you know you have this problem. You know you have a rising larynx and you have constrictor muscles engaging when they don't need to. Everything's attached. So the constrictors are all attached to muscles that are attached inside the larynx. They are extrinsic muscles, but they have attachment to all the mechanism inside, and that's where the tension will come from. It will make things narrow and squeezed and make it much harder for you to sing a nice open sound and feel free. If you get that sensation, which I'm telling you, so many people will. I mean, I'm here to help people with strain and tension in particular. It's something that I see as the main thing I do on YouTube in a lot of ways because it's the big problem that I had to overcome. A lot of my students come to me because they have these problems and it takes so much time to get rid of them. So you really want to test this out. That's quite low. That's more neutral. By that note there, you will get this pulling up and you can hear it in the sound as well. It's not like the most obvious sensation to people sometimes because it just feels like what singing feels like to you. So you might not be realizing that that's strain, tension, constriction, not pleasant, not healthy. It just might feel normal to you. So you've got to ask yourself, what can I feel? We have to get better at recognizing the sensations. It's the main thing. As I always say, stop listening, start feeling your voice. Okay? So we've tried that. We can try a little bit more of a slide in between the notes, just kind of doing a 3-note scale instead of doing each note in between. If you get that restriction happening, you should be able to tell. It might not hurt or feel massively awkward if you're used to it, like I was just explaining it, because it's what you're used to, but it's not what we want. And you need to feel free and easy and have that lovely open sound. When I'm trying to sing there, I'm not letting my larynx go anywhere. Even when I go down low, I'm not letting it really dig down for the note either too excessively. A little bit of play that I did there, but it's staying neutral. But if you want to control this stuff, well, if you want to feel free and easy and in control of your singing, you need to control this stuff. That's the better way of looking at it. And if something's telling you that maybe I've got this problem, please, please, please try these exercises. Take the notes from a song if you want to make it more relatable to a song that you're playing, song that you want to improve, something that doesn't feel good when you're practicing a song or performing it. Take the notes and see if you can hit one of the notes in that song, and what happens? It rises up. It feels tight. Tilt the head back. We can create a different tone and sound without having to do all this with it. We can create a much nicer, or a much sort of brighter, stronger pharyngeal tone by tilting. But that doesn't mean we need to bring the larynx up in the throat completely as well. Okay, so the idea is that you do it with the head back. You try the scale, try any 5-note scale, try any random notes. Choose low to middle range, because in the middle of your range, this is where it will start happening. There, I'm having to adjust to make sure the larynx stay put. You will bound to be getting that sensation and that sound that I just gave you there. That's much more relaxed and open. Everything still feels free. But if you tilt your head back, it will feel horrible. It'll be more obvious to you that problem is there. And hopefully you can then put your head back to normal. And you can just sing, and you don't pull the larynx up in your throat. This is what you are trying to achieve. Please try these exercises. Please trust that you can fix these things. And please be a little bit more sensitive to what you feel, and try to notice when this is happening. Watch yourself back as a reference point. And this will improve over time, but you've kind of got to create the muscle memory. You've got to recognize the point in your range when that starts to happen. It's not as high as we notice the problem. The problem will be really obvious when you get to the bridge, but it starts lower down. It starts more in a more comfortable area, say, a C for guys rising up towards your bridge. Down there at C, it's going to start to be wanting to rise. C sharp D, definitely on the rise. D sharp E up to the bridge. You're already like that. So we've just got to adjust and learn to keep it neutral. And if you do these exercises with your head back, not a lot of movement. Yours might be dancing around and squeezing and pulling around all over the place. So when you sing a song, you might recognize this happening as well. And if your voice responds by pulling the larynx up in the throat, your job is to try and practice those notes with a neutral larynx and create new muscle memory. It doesn't mean keeping the larynx excessively low. It just means not letting them rise, but without force. So watch out for things feeling tight while you try and control them as well. Everything is about vocal freedom and feeling open and free. Okay, that's my video for today. Thank you very much, as always, on the channel. I've got a new website, which is much easier to navigate with my booking system on there. If you're interested in having lessons from me, you can book on my site, which is in the description, singingmatters.co.uk, and you simply click on the contact button there and you can book a schedule, a booking straight away online on the calendar. It's very, very simple, very, very easy. I don't take any money until I've spoken to people, just for trust on your side, because I'm just some random dude on the internet. But just click a booking that suits you and I will get in touch and then we'll sort out the details from there, but we can have a chat about your needs. If you feel like you would rather try before you buy, then I offer a free consultation as well. So just get in touch and we'll have a 15-minute call. It's usually half an hour. And we'll go through your needs, what's going on at the moment, and try some of this stuff out and get you to sort of work out what it is that you need to work on. But if you can do these sorts of exercises day in, day out, you will instinctively start to control what's happening, instead of allowing the natural instincts of the rising larynx to just take over and ruin your singing experience and ruin the sound that you get as a result. It's so instinctive that you've got to imagine it's going to take quite a lot of muscle memory practice to overcome that instinct, and it will creep back up on you when you're not looking. So you've got to keep working on these things and keep reminding yourself. Once you can control them, if the problem does arise, you will notice that you can quickly fix it. You can quickly recognize it and fix it, and that's what we want to get to. And singers are doing this all the time. It can just pull up when you're not expecting it, and you can go, "Oh, pull my larynx up there a little bit. Let's reset, relax, get everything back to how you want it." Okay. I can't recognize these exercises enough. You will see other coaches talking about these exercises, very, very similar things all over the internet. It's what helped me fix my problems. I had so much strain and tension in my voice. I ended up with an operation, very bad use of the voice as a singer and outside of singing really as well. And I ended up with an operation after singing for 10 years or more, with terrible, terrible tension and technique, week in, week out, day in, day out, destroying my voice. I'm very passionate about helping people not go down the same road as me. And if you are experiencing these things, then you just want to do the boring work and try and work on it, and just give yourself a few minutes a day of playing around with this stuff to create the muscle memory and the ability to control your rising larynx. Thank you very much for being with me today. As always, the best of luck with your singing, and I hope to catch you somewhere sometime soon. Cheers.